poetry happenings in Boone's embrace. Graystone Lodge with its gentle grace. Concierge level service so fine in the heart of mountains where trees align.
All right. Good morning, LKN. It is Thursday, so that means that we are joined by Kaity Jo for one of our favorite segments of the week. Hi, Country Happenings with Graystone Lodge. And Patrick Reynolds is joining us for this one as well. Thanks, Patrick, for being here.
Good morning, Mamie. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely glad to have you. Kaity Jo, how is the weather up there? I can only imagine. No humidity, beautiful sunny days. What's it like?
It is. I'm listening to the birds right now, and it is just wonderful. We've had a couple of rainy days up here, as to be expected, in the summertime with some thunderstorms. But the weather for this weekend is looking really wonderful, which is good because we have a lot happening this weekend up here in Boone. We actually have the Boonerang Music and Arts Festival. So I'm really excited that we're going to have such a wonderful weekend up here.
So what is the Boomerang Music and Arts Festival? It sounds like fun, though. Sounds like a really good time. What do you guys do for that?
So basically, they kind of close down King Street, and you're going to have a couple of different stages with local bands playing music. And there's going to be a bunch of vendors selling local art and things like that, and then food trucks. So just imagine King Street, if you've ever seen it, just shut down with basically just a whole festival through it. And you just are walking on the street and you're just hanging out with all your friends and listening to music. And I really love it because there's so many different genres of music, and they have different things happening all over King Street. I like to go to the Jones House where they have some local storytelling happening as well. There's just things for everybody there. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looks like starting Thursday, June 19th, starting today. Boone's Got Talent starts today. That sounds like fun.
Yes, so Boone's Got Talent. It's going to be at the Appalachian Theater. I'm not quite sure exactly what this is about, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun just to kind of go and see like a little talent show with all of the locals here.
Yeah, get to know some maybe local or up and coming talent that you might see on a stage one day at the Boomerang Music and Arts Festival. Is there a ticket price for that, or is that free for the community?
It is free admission.
Wow.
Into Boomerang. Yeah, you just find a parking spot somewhere, and then you just walk around and pick up some wonderful local art or jewelry, listen to the music, and they've got a bunch of local food trucks as well, so you can have options to eat. And of course, all the restaurants and shops are open too.
Yeah, it sounds like a really, really cool time. And just come up to Graystone Lodge, stay there, walk through downtown Boone, get to do all the different things that are going on. Music Friday, looks like Saturday has more going on, and Sunday too. Parade of Nations on Sunday. So huge full lineup. And you can find out the full lineup on your social media. Is that right, Kaity Jo?
Yes. That is correct. And I think they also have their own website for Boonerang as well that has the lineup that you can see at all of the different stages around King Street and all the different events that are happening over this wonderful 3-day weekend.
Very cool. All right. I remember us last year talking about Roots in the Garden, the Daniel Boone Native Gardens in Boone. They're holding their summer concert series again. Is that right?
Yes, that is right. I'm really excited about this. I love the Daniel Boone Native Gardens. Such a wonderful place to hang out. That's right there in Boone. You don't have to go anywhere. It's very centrally located. We've got a lot of parks in the area, but this one's just right there in the heart of Boone. And they're going to have their 3rd annual summer concert series, and they're going to have live music as well. We're all about live music up here in Boone. You kind of can't go anywhere on the weekends, especially or Thursday, Fridays, without running into live music, whether you're at a park or you're at a restaurant or things like that. So it's going to be a fun thing for the family to go to. You could bring a picnic, and they have like food trucks and things like that there. It's just a lot of fun.
And then that event is also free. They're just asking for donations for that as well.
Yes, that is correct. And another one that is also free is Music in the Valley. So that's going to be at Valley Cruises Park over here in Valley Cruises, which is where I grew up. They have their Friday Music in the Valley every Friday during the summer, and it's a lot of fun as well. Free event, come out to the park, support the park as well, because they did have a lot of damage from the hurricane, but they're recovering, and it's so wonderful to go there. I mean, I go on a walk there a couple times a week. It's just such a beautiful scenery. there, and they're going to have live music as well. So you can check out their schedule for who's going to be playing on their website too. And free for everybody. Bring a picnic, bring the dog. They usually have food trucks there as well.
For me too, like going to Valley Crucis, going to Mass General Store, going to Grandfather Mountain, going to Tweetsy Railroad, that's so nostalgic for me growing up in this area, Kaity Jo, because that's what I did as a kid with my parents and my grandparents, and then being able to go myself and take my own daughter now and her growing up doing these things as well. I think it's just so cool about that area. There's so much history. There's also a lot of new businesses going on, but do you have a favorite kind of childhood memory of growing up in the Boone area that, you know, you're excited to still do every summer?
Oh gosh, there's just so much to do up here in the summer. I get really excited. Very nostalgic about tubing on the river with my friends. Been doing that, you know, since high school. Up here, you can either do the Watauga River or the New River. You can do it on your own, or you can go through a company like Wahoo's, which you'll get a discount if you stay at Graystone Lodge. That's a lot of fun. And just going on the hikes and things up around here. I love to take my dogs around. Any of these hikes that are up here, you can go to exploreboone.com, and they have a list of all the different levels of hiking, whether you want a water feature or something like that. There's so many options up here to do outside, and that's where I like to be in the summer, is right outside where there's no humidity and it's beautiful and, you know, never gets above like 85.
Okay, here's one. Singing on Grandfather. That's happening Sunday, June 22nd at 11 a.m. I can only imagine what that's like, sitting on top of Grandfather Mountain and just singing your heart out. Have you ever done this before? This is one that I've never done, but it says it's a century-long tradition, so I guess it's been going on for a little while.
You know, I've never actually heard of this, but it does sound very interesting, very, I would say, you know, kind of majestic. You know, you're sitting up there on Grandfather, you know, the highest point around us, and just, you know, getting together and singing, you know, gospel music in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I mean, it just sounds, you know, just like such a grounding experience.
Yeah, it sounds so cool. And I have to mention y'all's blog, Kaity Jo, because you guys do such a great job with the blog. Like you said, you know, whenever you're planning a trip, you kind of want to know the local spots, the hot spots to hit. You know, you don't want to just eat at the chain restaurants. You want to go where the locals go. You want to try something different. And y'all's blog has such a great way to find that, all that information, where to find fun water activities in Boone. I saw that. You've got 10 of the best playgrounds near Boone. What is it about the blog? Like, what are you guys trying to do with that? What's the, you know, what are you hoping that guests find on it?
We're just hoping to, one, support all of our local businesses up here, and two, just make sure our guests, when they're coming up, they feel like they are part of the high country experience, and they are really, you know, enriched in all of the local culture up here. And whenever I go on vacation, I like to make the most out of it. So, you know, making sure I have an itinerary and knowing when things are open and what's the best time of day to do things, and, you know, what local events are happening. It's just a way for us to really, you know, interact with our guests, and our front desk staff as well are really wonderful at helping out and making suggestions too. So everybody just loves to you know, promote the high country to our guests, and people coming up, you know, for events and things like that, of where to eat and where to go if it's raining. You know, people ask us all the time for suggestions on where should I go for dinner? Well, we're like, what are you in the mood for? You know, where should I go on a hike and all those things? And we already know where to send you.
Yeah, and with that service that you guys offer, Kaity Jo, even if they haven't done the research before, once they get there, you guys can help guide them in whatever way they want to go.
Of course, yes. We have all of our local partnerships as well that they can take advantage of. You can view those on our website, where they can get discounts at local restaurants and attractions and things, which we're always happy to mention to them as well. Just kind of help them plan their stay and, you know, make sure that they're having a wonderful experience up here.
Absolutely. Well, Kaity Jo, thank you. And the weather looks perfect for this weekend. High 80s, lows in the 60s, no humidity. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. So many things going on, no lack of things to do. So make sure you check out Graystone Lodge, all their local partnerships. And Kaity Jo, thank you again for joining us, and we will talk to you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Kaity Jo. All right. Patrick Reynolds, you're here with me today. I didn't get to talk much here, but we'll talk more about Kyle Larson and your interview with him when we come back.
I always wanted to do a segment with Kaity Jo.
There you go.
The closer I get with Graystone Lodge.
There you go.
This is great.
This is it. This is it. All right. All right, guys. We'll be back in just a little bit. We'll hang out with Patrick.
Fire's burning warm. Graystone Lodge welcomes all who come round the door. Concierge service, they know what you need. In Boone, you'll find peace.